What exactly do you think you're doing? Huh? You do not belong in here. You doing? Attack me? I already fed you. You're not getting any more. I did. I fed you already. Come on. Come on. Oh, you're all dirty. Easy. No, you stay put. Well, good morning. We are back out here in the dairy barn. We're getting ready to milk. Got all the cows in. They've been fed. Not all the cows. We still have a few more to swap out. But anyway, I thought I'd show you not so much how we milk the cows. We've done videos on that in the past. So if you want to see that, I'll put a link somewhere up here about the video of milking cows. That's if I can figure out how to put the little thing up there. Anyway, what I'll do today is we'll talk a little bit about the breed of cows. So the number one question we get asked all the time is what breed of cows we have. And it's a somewhat simple answer. They're Normandys, but there's also some crosses. So we have crosses of red and white Holstein, a little bit mixed in, mostly Normandy, but a little bit of red and white Holstein. There's a couple that have some Jersey mixed in also. A lot of our cows are purebred Normandys, like Newbie here is. And then, let's see, Joni here is 100% Normandy. This one here is Renew, she is. Hilda is, they're mad, I'm not milking and I'm talking. Hilda here is not, she has some shorthorn in her. She's about half short. Her mother had a problem getting pregnant. Her mother was Joy. She was a Normandy cow, had an issue with getting pregnant, bred her a bunch of times artificially, and finally gave up and just put some shorthorn in, and of course it stuck. So, and then Eloise down here is also full Normandy. The newbie here is, you can't really see it, but it's we have written the dam, the sire, and then the date of birth. She was born February 19th, 2015. So she is getting very close to being 9 years old. And somebody pooped on her head this morning. So our herd of cows is over the years has been, we started originally when we started milking 20 years ago roughly, give or take. I can't remember exactly, but when we started milking to ship milk, more than one cow, our first cows were red and white Holsteins. So that's where we have one cow still with a little bit of red and white Holstein genetics. We started with 20 heifers and they were all red and white Holstein. So a farmer we knew was retiring. He had sold all his milk cows. We had a herd of Black Angus at the time, and we traded head for head. our black Angus cows for red and white Holsteins, and that's how we started with our first dairy cows. So like I said, we had traded for our first red and white Holstein heifers. And then at some point, I think it was about 2007, which happens to be the last time we bought cows in. Since then, we've had a closed herd. But we purchased some Normandys. Went to an auction. They had a bunch of Normandy cows that they were selling. And we bought, I think it was about 20, maybe 22. Can't really remember. There was 2 Shorthorns in there actually, so the rest were all Normandy. So Normandy cows, they're kind of fat. Unlike a Jersey, which is all skin and bones. You can feed a Jersey all day long and they still look skinny. Our Normandys, the breed originates in Normandy, France, and they're pretty hardy cows. They don't mind the cold. They milk a lot like a Jersey. They have, production-wise, they don't make vast amounts of milk like a black and white Holstein will. Typically a Holstein cow will make 10 gallons, maybe more, 12 to 15, or 10, 15 gallons, which is, we measure our milk production in pounds. So our cows normally, our goal is to have at least 30 to 50 pounds of milk, which translates 4 to 5 gallons of milk, 8.6 pounds per gallon of milk. A Holstein will easily do 80 to 120 pounds, sometimes more, milk. So that would be anywhere from 10 to 12 gallons, 15 gallons even. So what the cows lack for quantity of milk, they make up for with quality. Like Jerseys, Jerseys typically have high butterfat protein, try this again. Jerseys typically have high butterfat in their milk. The protein levels typically aren't quite as high. So you'll have high butterfat, but maybe on the lower side. Whereas a Holstein cow, very low butterfat, and the protein can go either way. The Normandy cows have high butterfat, but they also have higher protein. So when those two levels get closer together, you get a better cheese yield. This here is Joni. Anyway, like I was saying, you get a better cheese yield, and whether you know it or not, our main business, we don't ship our milk like a traditional dairy farm would. Normal dairy farms, a tractor trailer would back up either every day or every other day, picks up, pumps the milk out of their tank, and off it goes, and that's the last the dairy farmer sees of it. So what we do here on our farm is we actually make cheese with all the milk, and we don't ship any of it off the farm. We turn 100% of the milk that we produce here on the farm into cheese, whether it's hard cheese, fresh soft cheese, a little bit of yogurt, but mostly hard cheese. So newbie here, like I said earlier, she is she's just about 9 years old. And we had originally purchased her mother back in 2007. So she was one of the cows. Her mother was one of the purchased cows. So we have Newbie here, this couple here. Renew is actually Newbie's daughter. So this is one of her daughters, and Renew was born in 2019. So she's almost 5. And then Eloise here is also one of Newbie's daughters. So we've got 2 of her daughters here in the barn milking. And I think we have 1 more heifer that hasn't been bred yet out with the rest of the heifers. And Eloise here was born in 2017, so 7 years old. So that would have been probably newbie's first daughter, I think, to be born, first heifer calf. So on the other side of the barn, we have Foolish here. Foolish was also born in, her name is Foolish because she was born April 2nd, day after April Fool's Day of 2015. So she is also, she'll be going on 9 years old. We've got Lacy here, we'll talk about in a minute. Allie, which is Foolish's daughter, and she was born, she is just a first calf heifer. This is her first time milking, first year of milking, or season. And she was born in 2021. Got Oreo here. And then we have Rose. And Rose was born in 2020, so just 4 years old. She was born April 15th. And she is also out of Foolish. So we have 2 daughters out of Foolish, Rose and Allie. So Oreo, that's here behind me, has kind of an interesting story. So Oreo's mother was Flo. Somebody's mad. They don't have their calf with them. The calf's out in the barn. So Oreo's mother was Flo. So Flo was out of Betty, which was out of Utica. So Utica, now this is going back, almost 20 years. Utica was a red and white Holstein, like I'd mentioned before. We bought those 20 heifers, 23 heifers, red and white Holstein heifers. We brought them all in the barn, and we're looking for heat. We artificially inseminated them all, so I was watching and breeding them as they kept coming in heat. Utica wasn't coming in heat. Because Utica wasn't coming in heat, we had the vet out to pregnancy check all the rest of our cows, and they were all pregnant, which was good. And I asked the vet, I said, well, what's the problem with Utica? She's not coming in heat. I thought something might be wrong with her. The vet checked her to pregnancy check her, and it turned out she was already pregnant. Now I hadn't bred her, and I was the only one breeding cows on the farm at the time. And it turns out the neighbor's Angus bull had got over the fence at some point and bred Utica, our red and white heifer. Somehow the bull got in, bred the cow, and then got back out of the pasture. There was just one fence line down. There was a herd of Angus cows for our neighbor, and then we had our red and white heifers on this side of the fence. She was very pregnant. She was probably 6 months pregnant with a calf, I think, at the time, something like that. So anyway, to make a long story even longer, Utica had a heifer calf, of course, which was half Angus, half red and white Holstein. We decided to keep it, and we raised it up, and it was in the barn one winter, and it was just about the age we had originally planned to send it off for beef. Well, that was Betty, was her name, and she was just about the size to breed, and she came in heat, and it was in the barn in the wintertime, and I thought, well, so we artificially inseminated her, and she got pregnant very quickly. So when Betty had a calf, it was I believe it was a bull calf. I don't even really remember. Might have been a heifer calf. Anyway, she had the biggest udder on her for being a half red and white Holstein, half Angus cow. And she had the best temperament. You could go right up to her. She hadn't been handled a lot, but she didn't kick. She didn't mind the milker at all. And she had a massive udder. She made a ton of milk, so we decided to milk her. So once we realized how well Betty milked and how much milk she actually made, I bred her back to a Normandy cow. I used artificially inseminated her, and we bred her back to Normandy. So we wound up with Betty's calf, which she had more heifers. So Betty was half red and white Holstein, half Angus, the neighbor's Angus. looks not happy. So she was half red and white, half Angus, and then we bred her to Normandy. So her heifer calf, her first heifer calf, was a three-way cross. That three-way cross was Flo. So we had Utica, Betty, and then Flo. Flo was the daughter, and Flo is actually Oreo's mother. So Flo went on to have quite a few heifer calves. Not all of them milked really great, but Oreo here milks great, and she is out of the original Angus cross, and that's where the black comes from. So the black from the Angus is a really dominant gene. There's two good benefits to it. Well, there's one good benefit. She milks good, which is back in her genetics, back from the start. But she also, a lot of her calves come out dehorned. Anguses are naturally a polled animal, which means they won't grow horns. Bulls or heifers, they just won't grow a horn. And a lot of her calves come out still after all these years. After 15 years of breeding, her calves mostly come out without horns. So all of Oreo's calves are black. It doesn't matter what we breed her to. We could breed her to a Jersey, we could breed her to Normandy, doesn't matter. They all come out black and white. So black is a very dominant trait from the Angus. And it doesn't go away at all, I guess. She still milks great though, don't you, girl? So Oreo was named by a market customer. I think one time we did a name the calf thing at farmer's market, and everybody wanted Oreo, so we named her Oreo. She's black and white, but anyway, her calf that is now out there is also black and white. Like I said, the black doesn't go away. She had a heifer, this last calf that she had, and we named it Double Stuff. So we try and go with names so that they're easy to remember who their mother is. The last cow we have to talk about here is Lacy, and she was born in 2018 by the looks of it up there. So we have all the birth dates up on a card with their name up above their stall. But so Lacy's mother is Shamrock. And like I said, we kind of name them along the same line. So I don't know where Lacy comes in there, but anyway, Shamrock's mother was Clover, and she was one of our original heifers back in 2006 or 7. And it was a favorite cow, so I kept a daughter out of her, and then her daughter was the mother of Lacy. So Shamrock was her mother. So she is about 75% Normandy and 25% red and white Holstein. So if you've heard a cow mooing in the background the entire time, it's Lacy. And there she goes again. She just had a calf, a bull calf, about 3 weeks ago, and it's out in the barn with her all day long. We've left the calf on her to keep nursing, but she doesn't like being away from them at all for a little while. So we'll get Lacy milked here and then turn her back out with her calf. So there is Lacy's calf laying down. It's the one with the blue collar. The one with the pink collar is Joni's. Joni's also inside getting milked right at the moment, but at least she's not making a racket about it. Just patiently waiting for your mama to come back. Oh, where are you going? You're in a rush today? Huh? All right, I think I pointed out in the last video, but right now we're milking more cows than we have spots to put them. So we have 12 stalls and we're milking 14 cows. So 2 of them we bring in, get them milked, swap them out, and bring 2 more in. Come on, Allie, let's go. Get out. Come on, girl, let's go. Good girl. Good girl. exactly do you think you're doing? Huh? You do not belong in here. No. Yes, I know that's your mom, but come on, back to the other barn. Come on, let's go. Outside, come on. All right. That's enough of that, you guys. Come on, back around to the barn. Come on. Let's go. Back to the barn. No, wrong barn. Oh, double trouble. Come on, both of you guys. Let's go. You're the instigator, aren't you? Come on, get back there. Let's go. You're starting all this, aren't you? You're the troublemaker. Well, it doesn't look like they're gonna go back in the barn. So what we'll do is we need to get milking. So we're going to go in the barn, close the door, and pretend we never saw them out. So they won't go too far. At least I hope they won't. Their mothers are in here, so they won't leave. There, the door is closed, so the problem is solved. Won't see them? It's not a problem, right? That's gonna do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you wanna see more of what we're doing. This video is gonna come out on a Friday instead of a Saturday, and we have something a little different planned for our Saturday video. So there'll be 2 videos this week. One Friday and then another one on Saturday at the regular time. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.